Did you know that in the 1800s, Bentonville was home to the largest fruit distillery west of the Mississippi? Today, I'm connecting with Matt and Kyle from RG Macon and Carson because they're bringing that back. Can you give us a quick overview of your company and kind of how you got started?
We wanted to start a historical preservation project for Macon and Carson. It was the original distillery in downtown Bentonville in 1893. It was not even 500 yards from where the courthouse is today on Town Branch. And so as a brand, we think that's important, right? To preserve a part of what is truly Bentonville history. And so they made brandy out of apples and other fruits. We were the largest apple growing region in the United States until probably the late 1920s. So it truly is a historical preservation project for us.
So if you could just tell us a little more about the story behind your brand, you know, what would you guys say?
Well, I'd start out by saying that back in 1893, a couple of brothers from Tennessee came here to Benton County because there were an abundance of apples, right?
Sure.
And so they wanted to take those apples and make something that they were accustomed to making, which was apple brandy. And so they started that distillery. And the pictures actually show apple wagons wrapping around the community trying to get their apples to the distillery to make the product. And it lasted until 1914. It was the largest fruit distillery west of the Mississippi from 1893 to 1914, which is a huge distinction.
Sure.
If you think about it this way, it was first the Macon brothers, first nationally known entrepreneurs from Bentonville. So it was big brandy, big box, right, big chicken, and big trucking, right? They were the first ones on the scene, right?
Incredible.
And also, at one point, they were actually producing 215,000 gallons of apple brandy. But of course, since this was a dry county, not a single drop could be sold here.
That's right.
Interesting. Well, now it can be, right?
Yes.
And interesting enough is that story is right on the bottle for everyone to kind of learn about it as they enjoy the product. That's really cool.
And that was one thing that was extremely important for us, is to show the history that's right off the Bentonville Square. So the story is something that was very important for us. So we really wanted to, educate our community and show them the history that's right here in Northwest Arkansas.
So all this talk about RG Macon and Carson, how can we get a taste of it today?
Well, let's go down to First Seat and we'll have a taste.
So we're here at First Seat in Bentonville. Kyle and Matt, let's talk about what we have here in front of us.
Yeah, definitely. So that's our apple brandy. Now, the interesting part is that once it comes out of the distillation system, it's clear. Everything's clear. So where the color comes in is actually the aging process. So once it comes out of the distillation system, we then put it up in Arkansas white oak barrels. That's actually from Gibbs Cooperage in Hot Springs.
Wow. So let's go more into taste testing this thing.
Yeah, we can do that. So we're going to do this a little bit like you would do a bourbon tasting.
Sure.
Because our product is much more bourbon forward in its flavor and its consistency as well. So the first thing we do to open it up, we pour it in a glass, and then we take a little bit of water, not much, get that in the straw, put a few drops, and you notice how the color is changing a little bit and how things are kind of start swirling around in there. So if you'll swirl that glass for me and take it up to your nose and open your mouth and smell, yeah? So what do you smell in there, man?
Oh man, the hints of apple.
Yeah?
Definitely punch out at me, and I need to take it down to half.
Okay, well, go for it. Let's not hesitate.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Right on.
Incredible, guys. If you guys love for the industry, love for brandy in general has obviously been placed into your process in a major way. That's a big deal, guys.